Hi, my name is Ron Roberts, PGA golf professional of 26 years. I want to welcome you to the Educated Golfer. And today I want to educate you on why is it that golfers around the globe have such a hard time building a repeatable golf swing. And the number one reason is they have too much tension in their grip, their forearms, and their upper body. And so again, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the tightest, 1 being the lightest, okay? What's your grip pressure? So give me a comment, let me know what your pressure is. I'd just like to know, okay? So again, our goal is to get that down to about a 2 or a 1. But anyway, like I say, just send me a comment. Second question I have for you is, what's the difference between swinging a golf club and hitting a golf ball? All right. Third question is, do you understand that in the golf swing that the head and spine do not move? Everything rotates around your head and spine. And the fourth question is, do you understand what releasing the golf club means? So let's get back into the tension level, okay? In the golf swing, it's really not that hard. Okay, so as we get into the swing, our goal is that we want the club on our backswing, pointing to our target line, to match the angle on our through swing. That's our goal. Our angle on our backswing matches our angle on our through swing with the square face. The ball's got to go down the middle every time, doesn't it? It has no choice. Simple math. But the reason that golfers struggle with this, and I have a lot of students, that's all they struggle with, is they have so much tension that they can't do that simple move. Well, if they don't understand that their tension level needs to be about a 2 or a 1, and then that they don't know how to release the club, and they don't know the difference between swinging a club and hitting the ball, and about the head and spine, then that's the reason that they're having such a difficult time. So again, let's talk about the swing, their tension level, okay? In my tension level in my hands is about a 1 or a 2. My forearms is about a 1 or a 2. And understand, it's called a golf swing for a reason. It's not called a golf hit. So if I have less tension in my forearms, just listen to this, okay? Hear that whoosh? I'm not doing a lot of movement. I'm not trying to hit it. From this angle here, this is the angle we're looking for. You can see how those angles are matching, aren't they? Not a whole lot going on. So again, we've got to get your tension level from a 10 to an 8 to a 6 to a 4 to a 2. It's going to take a little time. I've got one of my students going to talk to you here in a little bit about he's going to tell you his story on his tension level and how, as he got rid of it, how his game felt better and his body felt better. Okay? So there's your tension level. Now understand, everything rotates around your head and spine. So at your address position, head and spine don't move. Left shoulder goes under your chin. Right shoulder goes under your chin. It's that simple. Least moving parts. Okay? So let's talk about releasing the golf club. So if the head and spine don't move, and I have a 1 or 2 tension level in my setup, so when I get to my backswing, my left forearm is higher than my right, isn't it? So you can see how that allows me to set the club where I want to set it. So now, when I hit the ball, now my right forearm's higher than my left, isn't it? So left's higher on the backswing, right's higher on the through swing. Head and spine don't move. So again, that allows me, my swing plane's perfect there. And you can see how those angles are absolutely perfect. And again, there's no tension. So now I'm starting to swing the club, not hit the ball. Very, very important that you understand that. So along with us trying, again, our whole goal is to get the angle right here. Well, your hands must be in front of your chest. As you can see, if this club, when I take the club back, my hands are in front of my chest, but the butt of my club's pointing at my target line, isn't it? That's all we want to do. So then when I finish the swing, Again, my hands are in front of my chest, and again, the butt of my club is pointing my target line. So again, our goal is to get these angles to match. That's simple. And the only way we're going to be able to accomplish that goal is with less tension in our swing, because remember, it's a golf swing, not a golf hit. All right? So lastly on this is the head spine don't move. We have no tension. So when you take the club back, you want this pocket turning behind you, and that's what allows me to set the club in front of my chest. All right? I have a lot of students who they'll swing it back and their hips will go out. Therefore, their spine goes the wrong direction and they come over steep. I have a gentleman the other day I gave a lesson to, and this is a lot of my students, a lot of the men, not so much the girls. He comes to me and he tells me, he said, I'm hitting my irons, okay. He said, but my driver's killing me. He said, I got a big slice. So he's slicing the ball 50 yards right. And he's sitting here, he said, I want to get rid of my slice that hits 20, 30 yards longer down the middle. Well, in my world, that's very achievable, because I already know before I even see a swing that he's got so much tension. So again, understand, and with our goal from here to there, the only way we can get there is with no tension. And guys, I can't tell you, and girl, I can't tell you, if the sooner you can get it down to like a 2 or a 1, again, now we're swinging the club. All right. So we're sitting there hitting driver, and I'll step in and I can just feel he's locked up. I mean, he is locked up. Got no shot. Because remember, we just want to rotate. We want to get the club on the correct angle. So at his address position, I got him here. So I get him an 8, get him a 6, I get him a 4 tension level. So all of a sudden, he's no longer slicing the ball, he's hitting it a push, a little more push to the right. But I'm starting to, we're starting to get that tension out of his forearms and his grip. When I see white knuckles on a club, that might be a sign that they're choking the club and they can't swing it. So again, I want you guys to understand, go watch my other videos, and this whole video is going to make a lot of sense. Go watch my tip on grip. That's as good as it gets. That tells you about the grip pressure and how the grip is more in the fingers. And understand this, the faster your club travels through the air, it's called club head speed. The faster the club travels, the farther the ball goes. So therefore, the less tension you have in your grip and your forearms and your upper body, the faster the club's traveling and the farther the ball's going. So again, back to my student, I've got him down to about a 6, then I get him to a 4, and he's pushing it, which is better than a big slice, isn't it? So I said, okay, so now it's a push, and this is for any golfer. So if you're pushing the ball to the right, the only way in the world to straighten that ball out and hit that straight or with a little draw is at your address position. Remember, head and spine don't move, does it? So if this shoulder stays back and I'm rotating my right forearm, you can see how nothing's moving. And that's allowing my right forearm to release and square that face up. So what happens with a lot of my students is they get right here and they try to hit the ball. Now their shoulders are already involved and the face will stay open all day long. And then the madder they get that it's slicing, the more tension they get and the bigger the slice they get. By the 5th, 6th hole, they're wore out. They're done, physically wore out. So again, understand this, the shoulder stays back and you're just dropping and rotating that right forearm. There's no tension, I got nothing. But what that's doing is, that's allowing me to bring that club on the correct shaft, on the correct plane, isn't it? And there's nothing going on. And again, same thing here, there's no tension. See how my shoulder's staying back? Listen to that. You can just, so the less tension, the faster that's going. So again, with this here, again, just understand, for you to get rid of your push, the shoulder stays back, no tension, and rotate your right forearm sooner. And what that does is that squares the face every time. So your goal is shoulder stays back, drop and rotate. And again, watch my videos, guys, watch them. 1 through 7 is me giving you a personal lesson. On this particular move here, watch video 4, drop and rotate. Big deal, big deal. So again, it's gonna take a little time to get rid of this tension, but please, please work on it. Now I've got a gentleman I've been working with, his name's Greg Witt, one of my students. So Greg's gonna come in and tell you his story.
I met Ron about probably 14, 15 months ago. A buddy of mine was playing golf, never played it, decided I wanted to try it. We went out, I had a lot of fun. Of course, like anybody that played golf for the first time, I was horrible. Went home, got some clubs, started watching some YouTube videos. I'd go out to the range here at Ron's local club and didn't know Ron at all. And I would practice. I'd close your club face, do this, do that. And I'd go to the range and I'd do it. And I'd bucket after bucket, struggling, just slice, big slices. I was up chipping, working on a little chipping one day, met Ron, and he's like, you're just too tight. And I was like, I see what you're saying, and I'd let it go. And he'd come over when I was on the range, hit my driver, he's like, well, you're swinging too hard, you're too bound tight, your tension level, as he's been talking about, was through the roof. And I was thinking to myself, how am I gonna hit a golf ball 250 yards down the fairway if I don't swing hard? So I let it go. So finally he's like, man, give me a call and we'll get a lesson. So I was like, okay. I call him, we go out there, and playing sports, baseball my whole life, I'm digging, trying to nail it, no luck. Finally, he just keeps saying, loosen your grip, loosen your grip, loosen your grip, no tension, let your arms hang. And it sounds crazy until you finally hit a big draw down there about 250 yards. Then you start saying, okay, maybe Ron's not crazy. So after, and it ain't gonna change overnight, but when you work on not gripping it like you're trying to rip your grips off your clubs and letting it flow through and rotating, because you'll see everybody says, oh, you slice because your face is open. Well, nobody explains to you why it's open. If you've got a death grip on this club swing with everything you got, you can't close it in time. You might be closed way up there until, and the good thing with Ron, when he's videoing you. So when you slow those videos down, you see your face is wide open. It really explains, it lets you see it. Then you start rotating your forearms through, so when you do come down, now the club face is closed. It sounds simple, but it's really hard to get your mind to realize what you're doing. So I give Ron all the credit in the world just videoing me so you can see it, because in your mind you think you're doing it. Especially if you've had no lessons, you picked up the club because you thought it was fun. This is probably the most important thing for me of closing my club face, making it square, is the tension levels.
Yeah, and again, get in your mirror, you know what I'm saying? And that's, I have all my students, go home and get in your mirror, whether it's winter or summer, or raining or night, you can't sleep, whatever. But again, when you get in the mirror, and had a student the other night, so a third lesson, and he finally had a eureka moment, because it's hard to understand this move, it really is, isn't it?
It is.
But again, all I want you to do is drop this shoulder down, because understand, if our goal is to get this angle on the correct plane, right? As we release, when you're with your hands in front of your chest, all I'm wanting you to do is let this club fall to your back foot. Let it fall. It's so heavy you can't hold it. Is this not where your hands were at address? This is where they started. If this is where we are at address, I got them here, I'm letting them fall, but it's falling on the correct angle, right? Look where them hands are at. Dead perfect, aren't they? Nothing's moved. So when you're in the mirror at the home, your shoulder stays back, and you're just dropping and rotate your right forearm sooner with no tension. So if I drop, I'm not swinging, I'm not hitting it with that shoulder. That's what everybody wants to hit, like Greg says. Then you hit that big old banana. But understand, if head and spine don't move, that means your right shoulder doesn't move for a right golfer, right? So if my right shoulder don't move, as I'm dropping and rotating the right forearm, see how I'm squaring the face up, and there it is. Now my angles are matched. I'm just letting it drop and rotate. And that's all I'm wanting you to do, is drop it on the correct angle towards your back foot. It's not hit, it's drop and rotate your right forearm. And now your angles are going to match. You should be able to see those pretty easy. And again, what were you shooting when we first met?
Probably a good day being the 140s, 50s. You know, that's probably what a couple of gimmies that I wasn't going to get. But literally within 4 months, because this was probably of October of last year, taking the first lesson with Ron, putting in a lot of work. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, you'll do this and it's going to fix it, but working on that at home, you know, having a girlfriend, partner, whatever in the mirror, you know, take a line so you can mark your shoulders, knowing, seeing if your head and spine's dropping in that release. You can do it at home when you're bored watching TV. And right now, I can shoot within a year. I've dropped almost 50 strokes. I'm shooting right around 90 every time I get out here and play. So.
And what about your body? How's your body feel? This is huge right here.
Yeah, probably. Well, everybody hates slices. So, but the next best thing part of that is your shoulders and back not hurt. Like, I could get through 14, 15 holes and literally exhausted. Like, well, I can't wait. 18's coming. Let's hit the clubhouse. Now, you know, I can play 36 rounds all weekend and not have an issue. But, you know, it's not muscle, it's the club. And once you finally realize letting that tension go and letting the club do its job, you don't have to sit out here and swing like a baseball bat, which is my biggest problem. You'll realize how much funner it gets, and especially when you ain't looking for your ball in the woods all day, how much more you'll enjoy playing around the golf.
Yeah, and again, it gets back to the mirror, you know, and with all my students, like Greg said, he said, if you're like your girlfriend or your wife, you know, if you're sitting in the mirror, have her, she can run a lipstick under your chin, around your head, to where you're not moving off and you're not doing all this craziness, okay? Shoulders under, shoulders under. And again, you can see that shoulder in your mirror. All I'm want you to do is drop and rotate. No tension, let it fall. And that's what is taking all the pressure off the muscles and everything. And it's really easy. And I recommend start out with like your 8-iron off of a tee on the range. And just try some little half swings, you know what I'm saying? What I call back here, this is a 3 and that'd be a 7. Just try some little half swings with no tension and keep working on your level down. Hit it off of a tee. We're just trying to get a high blooper out there. And I think that gives you a good feel for it. And any other thing you got to think about that? I mean, this is kind of what I do with all my students. And once they get that feel, because that's what we're searching for, a feel. Absolutely, it's a feel. And once you hit 2 or 3 of those pretty shots, say, now you're on to something. But be patient, because that driver, understand if you hit a slice, because you're going to get greedy, we'll go straight to that driver, and you're going to get greedy. I want to hit this thing 300 yards. But as soon as you do, and that shoulder gets involved, now your face comes in open, and you're going to hit the slice. So again, if you stay back and just rotate the club, now again, as you can see, that's squaring the club up at impact, and you just keep right on rotating it. And that's why both these angles, you get them to match with that square face. So I think with the 8-iron, I do a lot of my wedges, pitching wedge. I work with a lot of my juniors, and we'll just sit there and hit little half shots all day long. And again, work on how long did it take you to get yours from a 10 to, because it was probably 11.
Yeah.
But
I was ripping grips.
Yeah, so it's going to take a while.
It does. Like, you feel like you're doing it, and you'd be over grabbing look at you.
Yeah.
So in your mind, you think, oh, it's going to fall out. I can't even hold it here. I'm about to sling it across the driving range. And your mind does play tricks with it. Everybody knows it. So getting your mindset to say, oh, no. But like I said, I get here, all my forearms was all tight. And you think, well, I'm not. And Ron would come over and look at you. Look at your arms. So I would say, honestly, working on it a couple of times a week, it will take you probably 3 or 4 weeks just using one club. Like I said, I was with Ron. I think I was using a 9-iron, just 9-iron after bucket, after 9-iron with that bucket, until I could work on here and releasing it and really trying to get that hook. Like, I was over-rotating, so I knew I was getting that club face closed.
Over-rotating's fine. But understand this, and Greg did touch on a good point, is I have a lot of students that say, well, If they were on a 10, I get them down to a 2, they said, well, the club's gonna fly out of my hand. Well, that's okay. We're on a range. It never does, but they're gonna feel like it's going to. And again, the one that I just absolutely love, this is a great drill for y'all, is you take I want you one hand, right hand only, give me your club, even though he's a lefty, but choke down on your 8-iron, left hand behind you, and I want a little 3 and 7, one-handed 8-irons. This is brutal. But again, you'll have to understand that you have got to let it drop and rotate with no tension for that club to get on the correct plane and hit the ball. Great drill for 8-irons. And again, if you can hit a one-handed 8-iron, now we're learning. Now we're moving, aren't we?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Any other questions?
No, I believe that covers most of it about tension, I'm sure.
Yeah. And again, please go watch my video on tip for grip, because it starts with the grip. Understand, the grip is in the fingers, not in the palms. There's it comes the baseball swing, you know what I'm saying? So again, watch videos 1 through 7 in order, and this will totally make sense to you. And yeah, we good?
No, because once you get to that point, you can repeat it.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part. It may not be Tiger Woods' swing, but if you can get that tension level to where your head and spine, you can repeat that all day long and go out here and enjoy golf all day with your buddies. That's the most important part of that tension, is staying where you can do it 1, 2, all the way through 18. So that's the biggest thing I would say, is just work on it at the range and go out there and try it yourself next time you're on the course and see what you think about it.
So again, hopefully this helps y'all, and I can't thank you enough. Appreciate it. We good?
We're good.
All right, y'all have a great day.
Have a good day.
Take care.